Number 6, you don't want to give up security for the funding that you need. What makes you, the entrepreneur, think that the funder is going to trust your business model if you don't trust your business model enough to put your house or your car or any other asset as security? So this goes back to your business model. Your business model has to be strong enough for you to also trust, so that you are comfortable putting up a certain asset that you have as security, so that the funder also knows that they can trust your own business model. And this is where we don't put money to chance. If your business model is not right and you don't trust it, you can't expect the funder to trust it. And really, security is for the funder to know that they can trust the model that you have presented to them, and they can trust that you're going to pay them their money back. Number 7, this is always quite a tricky one for entrepreneurs. Yourself or your business partners have irreconcilable debt or irreconcilable financial history. Unfortunately, funders fund the jockey first. So if you or your partner are seen to not be responsible with your finances, responsible with your money, and your credit score is irrecoverable and it cannot be fixed, unfortunately, you're going to have a problem when you are trying to obtain funding. So before you even go and look for funding, just make sure that your team members and yourself as the entrepreneur, you have credit score that is recoverable and reconcilable. Number 8, also quite a tricky one. You don't have business history. Unfortunately, funders do look for a track record. Let's go back to the catering business. You have to start by selling the food and the plates from your own kitchen before looking for funding to buy the food truck. Funders don't often fund ideas. You have to start with what you have, where you are, so that there can be traction in your business and funders can see that you have the ability to sell and you have the ability to gain customers in the food business, so they can trust you with the funds to go and buy the food truck, and they can trust your ability to run the business and to gain customers for your business. Number 9, entrepreneurs often spray and pray funding applications. Don't do that. You have to research the funding that is available based on what you need. Don't waste time putting in funding applications with funders where you already don't qualify. They're not going to change their mind because you are a Black business, a woman-owned business. If you don't qualify for that specific type of funding, and if you don't meet the criteria of that specific funder, don't put in the application. Use the effort and the energy by researching the right funding companies for you and the people that are willing to fund the type of business and the type of industry and business that you're in, and submit applications where you actually qualify to get that specific funding from that specific organization. Lastly, and the 10th point, your company cannot afford the funding that you are applying for. So let's go back to the catering business. If you have projected that with the funding that the organizations are going to give you, you are going to make 250,000 Rand a month. We have to calculate and work on our cash flow projections to see if the business can actually afford that specific funding. So let's start at the 250 a month. From the 250 a month, you'll probably need to take off first the raw material costs that you're going to have, say about 75,000 Rand. You must take off the gas that you're going to use, that you're going to be in the food truck with, the licenses that you are going to be paying for when renting and putting out the food truck at the corner of the street. You need to take out salaries for yourself and your employee or your assistants. You need to take out cleaning material and any health and safety issues and costs there. You would need to take out PPE. You would need to take out cutlery and crockery where you're going to serve your food in. And once you've taken that out, you are also at a threshold where you are earning more than 1 million per annum. So you need to take out the VAT that you need to pay to SARS there, which is roughly about, I think, 36,000 of that amount. And then you must still take out whatever rentals and any other additional expenses, repairs and maintenance, and any maintenance costs for your food truck. So once you've taken all of those costs out, then you have an amount left over. From that amount, in accounting terms, we usually call it profit. Let's call it a cash surplus. Now, if your cash surplus is lower than the loan amount that you would need to pay, then you definitely cannot afford to pay the loan. So you have to make sure when you are doing your cash flow projections that your cash surplus can sustain the monthly amount that is required to pay back the loan. I often tell entrepreneurs, at this point, this is where you really have to work backwards. If your cash surplus to be able to afford the loan needs to be 100,000, then you have to work backwards to determine how much and how many plates, in the catering business example, do you really need to make to be able to make that 100,000 surplus. Working backwards, you might find that the 250 plates are actually not enough. You probably have to make 300 or even 400. Then you have to go back to think, can the food truck actually sustain that? Does the food truck have capacity to give me that? And if it doesn't, then you go back to your drawing board and refine your business model and refine your funding proposal. I know, that was a mouthful. But with that said, good luck, entrepreneurs. When you are looking for funding or you are putting together a funding proposal, consider the 10 points that I've just given you. And remember, research, research, research. Your projections must be right, your business model must be right, your funding requirements must be validated, and you have to have enough cash to be able to pay back the funding at the end of the day.